Hey everybody, this is Hallie. I'm here with our next Macro Master highlight with Mr. Chad Hoban.
Hello.
And we are gonna go through my 10 questions. This one will probably be a little bit different because I know Chad pretty well and known him for a long time. So it might sound, I don't know, might sound like I know everything I'm asking you, but I guess that's part of the fun for everybody else. So my first question is, talk to me a little bit about how you found Macroholics, like how you know, I know that you knew us from before, but like maybe specifically around Macroholics.
So yeah, you said I knew you from a little bit before. Started CrossFit with David back in like 2012.
Yes.
Fast forward, you guys moved to Lubbock. I saw David at a competition. We competed together.
Yes.
We had both put on significant amounts of weight.
Yes.
We both finished like towards the bottom. And then David went back to Lubbock and so forth. And then all of a sudden the next, I think it was the next CrossFit Open or the one shortly after that, David just put up this ridiculously phenomenal scores. And I'm like, where did this come from?
Yes.
And then all of a sudden I see like his before and after. He just silently kind of did his thing. And all of a sudden he was like next level.
Yeah,
so I contacted him shortly after that and was like, hey, what did you do? I'd seen him post a little bit about macros here and there. I didn't really understand what that was. And then one thing led to another, and yeah, I got on board.
And ended up doing, yeah, Chad was one of our first clients that we actually took when David was still doing it as a personal training service and started doing like some remote nutrition coaching, and Chad was like one of the very first ones to do that. So he's an OG. He's
OG.
very first.
I think like 2016 or something.
Yes,
like that.
yep.
Yeah.
And so a little bit about like as far as your journey goes with Macroholics, highest weight, lowest weight, where you decided to maintain, stuff like that.
So my highest weight ever, it's like 296.
Wow, really?
Yeah, like 296.
You were fat.
Yeah, I was like way fat. I then kind of, from like 2010 to 2012, started toying with like CrossFit and working out and stuff. Got down to around 250, got down to my lowest around 230, and kind of stayed in that area. And then I think like 235, I started Macroholics.
Okay.
Had an initial goal of like 200 pounds. I thought 200 pounds, I'm gonna be
right where you want to be.
Shredded. I'm just gonna look awesome.
Yeah.
So I kind of started with that with my goal. I got to 200 pounds. Wasn't what I thought I was gonna look like. So I kind of just let David take it from there. Be like, hey, find my healthy weight goals.
Yes.
And you tell me
where to be.
So yeah, I got down to about 179, 180 was my lowest.
Okay. So you're maintaining like around in the 180
I maintain like 180 to 185.
Perfect. Yeah. So that's cool. It's good to talk about that. Like I think a lot of people don't know when you do get your lowest weight, you know, or your goal weight, then it might not necessarily look the way that you thought it was going to look.
Right.
Like, you know, I mean, it may be a lot different than originally.
Well, I know David had originally told me when I asked about that, he said, you know, his markers were based around where you see the lowest mortality rates based on weight related illness.
Yes, yeah, we have a chart that we use for that kind of helps determine like, you know, the space of mortality rates and stuff like that. So yeah, a lot of people, and you know, our perception in our society is pretty skewed on what healthy actually is. You know, some people will see someone that's actually at a healthy weight and they'll be like, oh, you're too skinny, you know, and it's like, actually, no, I'm actually right where I need to be, but in America, we're not used to that.
I got a lot of that when I was losing weight. When I started getting a little skinnier than people thought than they had ever seen me, really.
Right.
And then they're saying, you're losing too much weight, you know, that can't be healthy, that can't be good for you. And I'm like, wow, it's really weird that we live in a society where we see overweight people so often that when people get within normal
to a healthy size,
ranges, they look unhealthy.
That's right. And it's always interesting to me that people are so critical on people getting too thin when, you know, the vast majority of people could use a dose of that. You know what I mean? So it is interesting to me that we have such a I don't know, pushback, I guess, to the normalcy of healthy weight ranges.
For sure.
Tell me one of the most challenging parts of your journey with Macroholics. Has it been more on the maintaining side? Has it been more on the fat loss side? What was more difficult for you?
I think originally losing a lot of weight. The idea behind losing a lot of weight was pretty difficult.
Pretty like daunting.
Yeah, pretty daunting.
Yeah.
Like when you look at something, you're like, I need to lose. For me, it was like right around 50 pounds. I
Yes.
thought,
It's like a
lot of
long
weight.
journey to
and
go.
then I see some of these people that have got even more than that. So to see people take on that challenge is pretty daunting.
Yes, for sure. And that's something that even myself with my own weight loss journey, like, you know, you see steady progress and everything is good, but once you've been doing it for what feels like a while, and then you look up and you're like, I still have, you know, X amount to go.
Well, and I think, when I started the process and it took me, you know, a month and a half to lose like 5 pounds.
Right.
And it was like, man, that's still like not even close to where I want to be. I'm like, and it's been a whole month.
Yes.
You know, and so forth. I think from my start to finish was right around 10 months.
Yeah, yeah.
But I kind of looked, one of my things was I had to take the perspective of I didn't gain all this weight in 1 month.
Right.
And I'm not going to lose it all in 1 month.
And that's something that I always say, like, to people. I'm like, you know what? Like, it's hard when you lose weight slow. But it's a good thing that you don't gain weight as fast as you want to lose weight, because you would blow up, you know, like, so the steady thing on each side is good, you know, even if it feels really frustrating.
Absolutely.
So what are you most proud of in your Macroholics journey, other, you know, than the obvious of losing amazing amounts of weight? But
to me, just watching, I mean, not necessarily even my journey, but watching other people do things they never thought possible.
Yeah, for
like,
sure.
I think more fun for me, like, I always thought, I've always been pretty athletic. I could always move well. So being leaner is great. Being able to, like, play with my kids more and be more energetic is a lot more fun. But I love watching other people's transformations. Like, the same things that I saw in myself. Like, hey, this is the first time I, like, climbed up on the playground with my son.
And tied my shoes.
Without losing my breath and stuff like that. So that's probably my favorite part of the journey with Macroholics.
That's the best, I think, too. I think it's really the pride that comes with doing something hard, you know, is something that I think is pretty unmatched when it comes to weight loss. Now, tell me the most eaten Macroholics meal that you did to achieve your goals.
Oh man, so in the beginning, my meals looked pretty stupid. Like trying to figure out what's a carb, what's a fat, what's a protein. I remember like in the mornings I had like 2 pieces of turkey sausage and 1 banana and a little bit of peanut butter. Like I'm like, I'm just trying to balance everything, just figuring out what's what, you know, some cashews here. Once, like, probably for me, I just turn everything into tacos. I mean,
that's
pretty
true.
like,
Taco
I
guy.
just like corn tortillas, some meat, different kinds of meat, and a little bit of cheese. I'm like, it just balances itself almost perfect every time.
So Chad the Taco Man is now going to be your name. Now tell me some of the best advice you received. I think you talked a little bit about, like, you know, healthy weight and stuff like that, but what would you say helped keep you going? Some piece of advice that really helped you, you know, manage your journey with success?
Just find what is going to keep you motivated. For me, like, seeing, you know, there's several things have happened during my journey. You know, I had kids, different things, knowing that I want to be there to watch them do things, and I want to be a good example, and like the things they see me do, they will repeat. And sometimes it's for the good, and sometimes it's for the bad. But I mean, I try and keep the good.
You try to keep that in the
I try and keep that in the back of my mind, that the things they see me do, they're going to repeat.
And I think something that's really important to know about Chad is that he lost his mom has it been a couple years already?
Yeah, it's been almost 2 years, or right at 2 years,
And so I know that, you know, that has impacted you for your children, and, you know, your desire to be not only present but active, and, you know, really live life while you're here, you know. I mean, I think that's really important to you, and I think that that's a piece of your journey, you know, that not everybody has such a good perspective of the quickness of life.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I think that that's really important. What about, now let's get to the fun stuff.
Yeah, absolutely.
This is the good stuff. What about your favorite book?
My favorite book?
Yes.
Goodness, I probably don't read as much as I should.
I think that's anyone with children.
Yeah.
You don't really get to do that much. But like maybe of your whole life. Like maybe
Of
not
my whole
even
life?
recently.
Man, I kind of like kind of weird alternate history type stuff. So I've read like what if type books.
Okay.
11/22/63 by Stephen King was a really good one.
I've not been much of a Stephen King reader, but
it's
I like
kind of
that.
different. It's not like haunting,
Right,
like
not
his
like
other
the
stuff.
horror
Yeah,
necessarily,
yeah,
yeah.
it's not the horror stuff. So it's kind of,
That's really cool.
what if you could change something in the past?
How would it affect
How does it affect the
Like the
future?
butterfly effect
Yeah,
and
kind
stuff.
of like the butterfly
Cool,
effect. Like
cool.
not every time you stop something does it produce better results.
Ooh,
so it's
I
a
like
good book.
it.
I like that book a lot.
Oh, interesting. I'm gonna read it. Okay, so next, favorite movie. Are you a movie person?
Yes.
Okay.
So I have two that are like right at the top of my list.
Okay.
Shawshank Redemption.
Oh, of course.
Is probably
Yes.
one of my favorites.
That's a goat.
And then Life is Beautiful.
Okay, never heard of that.
It's about
I've heard of It's a Beautiful Life.
No, this one's different.
Okay,
So this one
okay.
was like a French film. It was like a French independent film, and you can find it. It's like dubbed over in English. I don't even think
Wow.
they've like redone
Look
it.
at you,
as-
you're such a hipster
Yeah, I
with this
really
movie
am.
recommendation.
But it's like, so in World War II,
Okay.
his dad, they're a Jewish family. They get shipped off to a concentration camp. His whole family does, but he is trying to like make the best of it for his son.
Yeah.
So he's like,
Oh.
it's like just the best movie.
Wow.
Yeah, it's
okay.
really.
Well, I'm gonna watch it so I can be a cool hipster like
Yes,
Chad,
yes.
and I'll let you know. Okay, who is your favorite person?
David Barnett.
Oh, I'll tell him you're so.
So like somebody that I know, or
Doesn't
just
really
like.
matter. Just like if you were gonna spend like time with someone, who would you say is like your go-to, like your favorite person?
Man, that's tough.
It is tough.
Because I don't keep up much with like celebrity news
Right,
and stuff.
right.
I kind of like, with David doing this Everyday Murph thing.
Yes.
Like, I love The Rock. So
Yes.
every time I see him do anything,
He's amazing.
he's just like,
Yes.
he's kind of just on point with things.
He is.
that-
He's very motivational.
Yeah.
He's very consistent. He has really good values.
Yeah, I think he's
I'm
probably.
a big fan of The Rock.
I-
It may have something to do with David doing Murph every day. I'm not sure, but maybe it does. Maybe it doesn't. Okay, so now tell me something that's exciting about like your future coming up. Maybe something about unique about you. Something that we can kind of talk about what's going on for you.
Well, so I've got a 3-year-old son, and I've
Yes.
got a
Brand new
newborn
baby girl.
baby girl. She is like 3 months. She just turned 3 months.
Yes, and she's so cute.
And I'm just so excited. My son is starting to take interest in like, he wants to do karate, and he wants to like
Yes.
play t-ball, and he wants to
Yes.
do he's got all these little activities he wants to
The
start taking
best.
part in. And so I'm like super excited that it's just going to be so fun. I'm just so excited about doing all
It
that
is
stuff.
like on being on that side. Like
Yeah.
I love taking Harper to do stuff, and that's why we're so excited about Harper being so into Pokemon
Mm-hmm.
right now, because it's the first time that you can really connect with them on like a level that
Yeah.
like you're both interested in a way. You
Yeah,
know what I
for
mean?
sure.
Like so instead of it just being like a teacher role, it's more of like a friend role.
When
you know?
it's so, as a parent, it's so like, you're like, oh, I don't want him to be out of that stage of life, but
Yes.
I'm so ready for him to do
All the
everything.
next
Yeah, the next
things.
things. I'm like, oh, this is the next fun
Yes.
thing. This is the funnest.
It
This
is.
is the funnest.
It
So
is, and it just keeps getting better. I mean,
Yeah.
it really does. So, well, that will wrap this up. We will also be doing a Macro Master Highlight video, so check that out and you subscribe on YouTube, and we will catch you guys next time.
Peace out.